Hello, in this demonstration, we're going to talk about the all-in-one hooper and using square or odd-shaped hoops. So you know that your all-in-one hooper comes kind of standard with the Leveler Pro that's designed for using just your standard round size hoops. But that doesn't always work for all embroidery jobs. Sometimes you actually might have a square or an oversized hoop that's not ideal for the Leveler Pro. So let's show you the universal attachment that you can put on almost any hoop you can imagine, whatever the size, shape, dimension, or machine. And it's quite easy to use. So this is how you're going to do it. This is everything you need. First, the hoop that you're going to be using. You've got these circle white discs with a hole. There's going to be 4 of them. You will most likely need 4 for every job. You're going to go ahead and there will be a washer and a lock washer. There's a screw with a grip tip on the top, and then a wing nut. Okay? The last pieces are at least 2 pins, and this bar for clipping on backing if you are using backing in this job and you need that support. So let me show you how you do it. So to save some time for watching the video, we've already put in 3. But what we're doing is, essentially all you do is you take the back of your hoop and you find around the center point for where you want your design to be. You might want to put the garment on it first and kind of get an eye view of where you want it to be. And let's just say we want my bottom, around these 3 dots right here. That's about where my center is, or just above them. So that's where I decided for this right here. What I'll do is I will pick a point where I can evenly put 2 of these. I'll show you how those go in a minute. And we'll put 2 here, and that'll be our bottom support. Then we'll put 1 on the top, and I'm not going to tighten them down all the way. Okay, I'm going to leave them so I have some room to wiggle and play, because the reason why it's on the bottom here is that before you go to tighten this, you can adjust the distance. So as you see on this hoop, we've got the corner here where this one's butted on the bottom. This one, to compensate for that, is much more almost to the opposite end, and this one up here will probably be towards the side. And we will twist these in order to get both back and forth and up and down and tilt motions until we get the right spot. Now we'll do our last one, and I'll show you what we've done. We'll take our lock washer, put it right here, then we'll put your plastic disc right here, and we'll find the hole that works just right for this. Then we can take our washer and our wing nut, and you know how this works. You probably don't have to see specifically, but all you do is you just screw this on in place. So get it in place, and as you screw it, you're going to want to grab both the wing nut on the bottom and the top. I find holding the wing nut in place with one hand and just twisting this. Now get it almost all the way tight, and then make your adjustments. So you move these around just a bit until I find that it's centered. And I'm using these lines for my center. You can use dots for your center. You can use these right here. However you want to do it to find your center spot. Okay. Once I feel comfortably in centered, I'll tighten them all down. And make sure you get them good and tight so they don't shift. And then to test it, you should be able to freely pull your hoop out and put it back in without trouble. Okay? Also take note, if you are using very close to one of the edge, when you go to pull your hoop out after it's been done, you're going to make sure that I'm going to want to lift this side up first so it can slide out. Because if I try to lift this side up, this piece here might bang into this nut and just pop my hoop off. So I'm just going to take a mental note that I'm going to lift up from the left and down as I take my garment off. Okay. So this seems to be good. It looks like it's going to work out well for my job and exactly how I want it. If it wasn't going to work well, you could choose to move these to different spaces. You can do them more, lower here. I could do it more towards the top. You will find the right configuration for your hoop. Okay? You're just going to have to play with it a few times. Once I know that this is right, or I believe it to be right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my garment on. I'm going to do a test hoop. I haven't done this yet. I'll just do a test hoop. I'll hoop it with or without backing, however I want to do that. And I'll do my test hoop just to make sure that when I pull it off, it is centered in where I want it to be. Like, this is the official spot for this hoop. Once I decide it's the official spot, that's when I do recommend you mark it. Like I said, you can use nail polish. You can use, say, I'll put a piece of red nail polish here, some red nail polish here, and those will be for this hoop. Or maybe I'll use a permanent marker. Maybe I'll use a sticker. Whatever you want to do, or do nothing at all, or don't mark it at all. However you want to do it, that is just something that you can save you some time later, so you remember that these 4 holes in this positioning held this centered perfect for you. It'll save you some time in the future. Next, what we're going to do is we'll put on the backing holder. This is very simple. You go just above it, I'd say the closest dots to the hoop, and go ahead and put 2 pins in wherever it happens to fit. And it should be relatively centered to your hoop, so you don't have to waste any backing. We'll go ahead and clip our backing in. That just goes just like that. Then we'll put our garment on. And what we're doing today is a hooded sweatshirt. We're doing a back center for this hooded sweatshirt. And we go ahead and place this on our hooper. If you set this up right, you should be able to do this. Just quickly slide it on and it won't fall off. Find my center here. It does have bars that you can move out like this, the plastic pieces on the inside. So if you're using a larger size, you can pop those out or not. Once I'm comfortable that this is centered, I'll smooth it out, make sure I feel my backing has not shifted. And then I will go ahead and do my hoop. Make sure you are hooping it in the right direction for however you need to embroider. Preference, I like to do the bottom first and then push my top in. Oops. Get my bottom. Where is it? Okay. Here's my bottom. I can feel my bottoms in. And I'll go ahead and push my top. Now, I'm going to push this back against the wall. The surface that I'm working on, I have not secured my hooper down with a screw. Okay, there is a screw hole in there. I highly recommend, especially for garments like this, that you have a table where you can actually screw this down, because you're going to put a good amount of force when we do it this way. On a large hoop, you're going to put some good force on a large hoop. If you don't do that, you're going to find that you're going to push your all-in-one hooper backwards, and that's why I've pushed it up against the wall. So once I get here, see as my hoop is, there we go. So I feel good and hooped. Now, remember, I took that mental note that there is a screw here that could catch. So I'm going to lift this side up first. I'm also going to be sure that I grab my backing when I'm grabbing it with this hand. Okay, so I can feel that I've got my backing in here, and this is to help pull the backing out of those clips. Once I get this side, I'll do the same thing. I'll just pull it down just a bit, and I feel that it's released from the clips now. And then we can go ahead and we can pull our garment off. And that's it. Now this is set up. So just to show you production, let's say I'm going to unhoop this right now. Now I'm in production mode. I've got my second hoop. That one's on my embroidery machine. I line that up, and it should only go in that one way, okay? Now if you find at any point in time that this is shifted while you're hooping, like it did for me a little bit, it's because I did not tighten this one down enough. So go ahead and adjust that. Make sure everything is tight. And the key is to use this corner here, and whatever, you might want to put this in the bottom or this side, whatever it is, and make sure you get these nice and... Alright, so once you've tightened these all the way down, and you get them good and tight, then you're ready for production mode in this. And if you marked them, as I mentioned ahead of time, if you have any shift, then you can go ahead and fix that. But get them down nice and tight, and that won't happen. That's the purpose of those lock washers in there. So once you tighten them down, they're locked into place. When you're done, you can go ahead and pull the pieces off, and make sure that you store and keep all your wing nuts and your pieces all screwed together so you can use them next time you need to use your square or oddly shaped hoop. Hopefully this helped you out to use your all-in-one hooper, and enjoy.